Hello and welcome to Rural Route 2. I have another garden video here, one that I wanted to talk about harvesting some beans and cucumbers and the beginning of some tomatoes. And then I wanted to show you what we do with the beans, how we cut them and blanch them and then freeze them and keep them in the freezer over the winter to enjoy all winter long. So here we are. Just wanted to give you a little overview of the amount of bean plants I have to show you that the yield that I got. So it is a beautiful evening in July. We had a great big storm last night with tornado warnings again. I've had quite a few this year. And so the garden got quite a bit of rain. But if you just take a look here, this is the area of my bean plants that I picked from. And for probably a week and a half, we've had beans that we've been picking every second day, but we really haven't gotten too much from them. But today when I picked, I did get quite a bit more. So I'm finding that when you pick them earlier on, it causes the plant to produce more. So I do have some more beans over here, but these ones were planted late. So this row here, and they're not ready yet. You can see the flowers on them, though. Lots of little flowers. Just no beans yet, but those will be coming. So I will get into showing you the process of getting the beans in the freezer. So I'm inside now, and this is what I was able to get from the garden today. Got this yellow tomato, which is super duper yummy. This is the second one that we've picked so far. So it's just a beautiful color. It's the Lemon Boy variety. And then these two, we're starting to get more of the big beef tomatoes. Every day, probably a couple. This one's a little more green, but it'll ripen up. Got these cucumbers here, which we will turn into pickles, likely dill pickles, maybe some sweet type pickles. Sometimes we cut them up and sometimes we just use them when they're this size. They're nice and crunchy. So I will do a video on pickling these. And then here are all the beans. So there's both the yellow and the green beans. And within 2 days, we have beans that go from this size all the way up to, say, something like this size. So that's why I like to do it every second day, and then I get some bigger ones. There's a whole variety there. A whole bunch that I'm gonna cut up and put them in this pot here, and I'll show you the next step of the process. So here I've moved my board outside and just taking a bean like this, and I usually just chop off the one end. I leave this end here, but I chop this end off, the part that was attached to the plant. It's because it looks like this sometimes. It's not really a part that you want to eat. So you can put it in like this, or I have found that it's easy to package them in the material, the plastic that goes in the freezer, if you just chop it in half. when you put it in your pot. So I just continue on like this.
What are you doing? Pickling beans?
No. So I have my 6-year-old helping me. She likes to help chop up the beans and snack on them. Right, Clara?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever get tired.
It is. So this is about the smallest size that I pick.
Mommy, look it.
Oh yeah, okay, so then this is on the bigger side. I'm gonna do 2 at once. Yeah, yeah.
Mommy, how do you do it?
Is it working?
No.
We're getting done this pile.
Floppy. But like sun gloves, like me.
Here's my daughter helping to cut. And we've gotten, oh, somehow this guy made it in there. We've got this much in a big pot there. So we're getting it.
Ugh, why are there bugs all over me?
And we're enjoying this view here. I just cut the grain in that field.
Wait, this was already cut, but it wasn't in there.
Oh, well, maybe it was just the way it was picked. And then my daughter is throwing a little pitching practice
Supper time?
over there on the lawn. My husband's catching her. Well, we've had supper already, honey. It's the evening. We have a little pitching practice going on. Our daughter is 9. She's taken an interest in being a pitcher on her softball team. So she's out here practicing, and her dad's catching her. She's working on that while we're working on these beans here, and the little girls are playing off to the side. Okay, so here we are in the kitchen on the stovetop, and we have a full pot of beans. I have the water just right up to the top. And I have it on in between medium and high. And I want to get these beans boiling. A good rolling boil for 3 minutes. Here I have my sink prepped with ice cold water. And once I have the beans boiling for 3 minutes, I'm going to strain them into here and then dump the hot beans into this freezing cold water, and that's going to stop the cooking process, and let them sit in there till they cool down, probably another 3 minutes or so, at which point I'll drain the water and then let the beans dry out a bit and then package them up. So here I have my boiling water, and I will set my timer for 3 minutes. Then I will strain it. So I have strained the beans into the sink there. You can see the steam. And I dumped them in this freezing cold water where they will sit for a couple of minutes. So I learned to do this from my mother. I don't know if it's a formal recipe, or not even a recipe, but a formal process. It's just what she's always done, and we always enjoyed her beans from the garden as kids, and so that's what I do now. And we love having these beans throughout the year. So I'll show you the next part of the process coming up. And here we are at the final step of getting these bags frozen. So I have a food saver, which is this right here, and these are the bags that come with it. So I just lift, I have this latch set to open here. I lift this up, and I set the bag in, and I turn this on, and then I press the vac seal button. Oh, that was really loud, but it's all sealed. So I turn this to on, and I have my frozen beans my beans that I will put in the freezer to be frozen and to be used over the winter time. So that's what I'll continue to do for every picking. I hope you have enjoyed this video and that it has helped you if you were unsure what to do with your beans. If you get too much, it's difficult to eat all of them every night for supper. Something else we do with the beans is we can them and pickle them, which is also really tasty and fun to do as well. So those are a couple options, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and take care. Bye-bye.